Okay, so I am actually going to be doing the preview of tomorrow's game instead of reviewing today's game. And I think this might be the only time that I will actually do this. And the reason why I have to do this is because today I have to go to somewhere. I have to do the Sports Hop series, which means that I am going to be getting home very, very late. And also, I have a test at school in about 2 hours. So yeah, I want to do this very quickly. I just want to do this right now so that I don't have to do this late at night, and then by the time this video will upload, it'll be like 2 hours before kickoff and you wouldn't have a lot of information. Plus, I am actually doing this right between the halftime between Croatia versus Nigeria, so this is not going to be a long kind of preview. It's not even going to be longer than 15 minutes. That is this preview. But either way, let's get into the games. There are 3 games in tomorrow's game, and this day probably has some of the most mismatched kind of game that you will find in each day of the group stage. But first, we have Brazil versus Switzerland, and actually, I'm going to go backwards. This is actually the last game of day number 3. And we have Brazil versus Switzerland. Obviously, Brazil cruised their qualifying section at Commonwealth, which is very, very impressive. Consider how hard that South American qualifying is. They basically just completely went through it like it's a piece of cake. And Switzerland, they did it the hard way by beating Northern Ireland in a 2-legged playoff. And there was only 1 goal between both of these teams as they beat Northern Ireland 1-0. And, you know, obviously Brazil is going to be heavy favorites in this game. I'm pretty sure the Swiss is going to... They're going to really try to defend, and they're going to probably take a page off of what Australia did this morning and also what Iceland did this morning, which is just make the better opponent tough to break them down. And we have seen so far in this tournament where when you see some of those teams that are currently favorites coming in, and especially heavy favorites coming into the game, and how hard it is to try to break through on goal. So that's something that Brazil need to do, although Brazil has a lot of good talent, and I think that it shouldn't be a really tough one for this game when they play against Switzerland, and I really think they should win this one very easily, and that it's not going to be like what happened with France and Argentina, where, you know, I think the thing you look at both of those teams, and I'll kind of talk a little bit more about it when I did the review show later tonight, they look very disjointed. This Brazil team is not a disjointed team with all those talents. This is a Brazil team that know each other and trust each other, and I expect them to do very well in this game and also in this tournament overall. Speaking of big team, another big team that is going to be taking on, and this one I think a lot of people will pay attention to it because Mexico is playing for the very first time, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you that is watching this preview are probably watching this video for this, which is Germany versus Mexico. So this is the rematch of last year Confederation Cup semifinal, which Germany destroyed Mexico 4-1. And, you know, obviously there's a lot of question mark with Mexico. I heard that they also lost another guy to their squad, with Diego Reyes now out with the Mexican national team, which certainly is a very big blow to their team. But overall, it's just a question of whether or not will the formation and whatever the tactics that Juan Carlos Osorio is going to put against Germany, will it actually pay off? And my answer to that is probably no, because you're playing team, you're playing the defending champions of the world, and you're playing a German side that, like this Brazil side, have a lot of talent and not very disjointed like those France and Argentina side, and that I really think this should be an easy win for Germany. And as much as Mexico or Mexican fans want to say that, you know, they want to get some revenge from what happened in the Confederation Cup semifinal, and that you know, we are going to actually do big things in this tournament. Yeah, facing Germany to start off the tournament is probably not the way that you want to start to have big things in this tournament, and certainly trying to get through the cursed fourth or fifth. I think it's the fifth game that they always talk about how they always tends to have like a curse and how they just cannot win that one. But yeah, I expect Germany to win this one easily. I just don't trust how Mexico is in terms of the way that their manager Osorio set up the team. And even though there are talented players on that team, yeah, they will be facing some of the best defender in the world in this game. And this German side is just so well oiled in this team from top to bottom. Which brings us to the last match of day number 3, or day number 4 actually. And this is probably the one that is probably the closest one in terms of opposition, because these first two matches looks like a mismatch on paper. But this one is a big one because Costa Rica versus Serbia, both of these teams that are certainly eyeing to try to get that. They're trying to get that elusive second spot, because certainly they know that the team that they are currently in group, which I think it's Brazil that is in their group, if I'm not mistaken, they obviously is not going to finish above them. And I really think that Costa Rica, you know, for them, they will definitely rely on a little bit on their defense, and certainly, you know, Keylor Navas is going to have to make some big save, because this Serbian team have a lot of good attacker on that team. And, you know, I kind of expect Serbia to attack a lot in this game, and Costa Rica maybe sit back a little bit because they don't have as good as an attacking force as Serbia has. And, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how the Serbian team will break down this Costa Rica team, and whether or not if they can do that. But either way, this is going to be a big match for both of these teams, and certainly I think the winner of this match will really have a huge advantage of moving on into the next round. But yeah, that is pretty much it for this preview. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of this preview, and let me know your prediction down below in the comments below. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time.